Okay, so obviously a little bit of a possibly wild take here. I know some people probably are not going to agree too much, but obviously try to bear with me. So the United States had at one point, an arguably the best top tier aircraft in the game, the F8 or the F-15E Strike Eagle. It was very good for a period of time until the Eurofighter obviously just kind of outclassed it a bit. And same with the Rafale. And then, Gaijin could have very easily left it at the F-15E, F-15C, F-18C being the top dogs for the American air power, which would have been fine. These aircraft were not necessarily the best, but they were more than good enough. So then Gaijin went ahead and added the F-15GE. The addition, the new feature for this aircraft, absolutely nothing, except a better radar compared to the F-15C. So, yeah, there's that. And then Gaijin, on top of all of this, went ahead and added the Super Hornet. Now, the Super Hornet is one of my favorite aircraft in the world. And I'm very hyped that it's arrived. The issue is, both of the F-15CGE and now the F-A-18E, what they arrived with was the exact same missile kit we have on things like the F-16C, which we've had in the game for years. So right now, American aircraft feature a couple missiles. They feature the AIM-120B, then Gaijin added the AIM-120C5. The C5 is not good. It's worse than the B in a lot of aspects. It's better, if I remember correctly, it's better in slightly longer engagements, but it turns worse, and it's a whole argument of thing. But arguably, the B is better than the C5. So we have a new air quote new edition of a missile that been in game for about a year now, or a little bit less, and it's not better. It's just not better than what we already had. IR missiles, it's been the same. It's been the AIM-9M. So Gaijin's now added, honestly, 3 platforms that should have arrived with at least the AIM-9X. The Super Hornet in the files did have the AIM-120, I think it was the D, on it for a while. Obviously, we have it in game without the D, but it is a planned addition in the future. And it just is annoying because, yes, I understand that same boat with like the Eurofighters, they have the exact same munitions, but for America, the planes have been getting the same munitions over and over and over, and they are adding nothing new. Gaijin should not have added the aircraft. And honestly, I can argue the same thing with the new Eurofighters. Gaijin should not have added the platforms until they were ready to give it better air-to-air missiles. I think you'll find a lot of people agree with that statement at the bare minimum. I'm tired, and I can understand. You gotta understand from American players' point of view, we had the F-18C, which was a fine platform. It had to take a special type of person to enjoy it. You had the F-15C, which was a great platform. F-15E, which was an amazing platform. You had very good platforms in the game. You get the F-15CGE, which originally was not was not added with the additional missile rack, which would have made it actually good. So its only addition was the new radar. Then you had the F-A-18E, which also arrived with the new radar, which does make it very nice. It also did arrive with with more air-to-air missiles. I think 2 additional AIM-120s. So, I mean, there is at least a little bit of a pro there. But honestly, and unfortunately, Gaijin just kind of keeps adding these planes without adding new munitions, and they shouldn't have. The F-15C Golden Eagle and the F-A-18E Super Hornet should not have arrived to the game until we were ready to see those new munitions. And as terms of, like, Britain and Germany, or at least Britain, they had the F-RF ICE with AIM-120s, then they got added the Eurofighter, and now they've been added an additional Eurofighter. And yes, the additional Eurofighter, the big difference is that much, much larger radar FOV scan and the improved radar, and on top of all of that, it does have a bunch more CAS weapons. But you don't already have, like, 6 existing platforms that offer the exact same thing. In comparison to the United States, you had the F-16C, you have the F-15C, you have the F-15E, you have the F-18C, you have the F-A-18E, you have, I'm missing one, you have the F-15CGE, and now you also have the F-16ADF, because they gave it AIM-120s. So you have all of these platforms that just kind of are like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming that they're all identical in terms of weaponry. Minus the ADF doesn't have the 9Ms, it has the 9Ls. Oh, and the AV-8B Harrier. Can't forget about the Harrier. So that's so many different platforms, and yes, it's a nice to have different platforms, but it's the same missiles. Why would I play my FA-18E at very, very top tier when I can take the pretty much same identical air-to-air missiles on my Harrier at a much lower BR, and just carry less of them? Gaijin should not have added the Super Hornet or the F-15 CGE without adding the AIM-120 C-12, or C-7, which is already in the game. It's on the claws. Could have made it a little bit better and thrown it on aircraft. And it's not like America's the only country suffering from, you know, Fox 3s that aren't great. China could have benefited from the PL-15. Russia has the R-77-1, which is kind of to standards with the AIM-120s, if not a little bit better. The Mika EM is the Mika. It's great, like usual. And then the R-Darter and the Derby are also in that kind of same boat. So it kind of comes down to, you know, not even necessarily just a U.S. aircraft issue. I'm more or less just kind of phrasing it as America keeps getting all these new platforms that don't get new weapon systems. And that is very frustrating as a player who wants to actually enjoy new weapons. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are down below in the comments. Do you guys genuinely think we should have seen the AIM-120D arrive with the Super Hornet and the F-15 CGE, and obviously with the new Eurofighters and everything? That's what would have made sense to me personally, but, you know, obviously here we are. Things don't always make sense with Gaijin. Hopefully we see the addition of the AIM-120D, or at least the C7, in the next major update. Obviously, we want to see more modern IR missiles. All of this is just have to obviously wait and see what they decide to do. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you guys are not already subscribed, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. Make sure to join the Discord that's linked down below in the description. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.